Camera rolling. Hi guys. How are you today? Like I always say, we're about to have a recording on a very important subject, and like I always say, anything that can try to stop you or just try to stop you at times. My microphone head literally just broke off, like the clip head broke off, but I hope you can still hear me. I mean, it's not the microphone, it's the clip head. But whatever the case, we're going to have this recording today because we want to talk about a very interesting and important, not just interesting, it's not even interesting, important subject. We want to talk about money, owo, udi. It's very important in life. Making money, saving money, investing money, and I'm going to be talking to a financial guru friend of mine. So don't worry, microphone or no microphone, whatever is going to happen, we're going to have an amazing conversation today. So guys, I'm here. I know it looks different. We just thought to sit outside as well, maybe to give ourselves enough social distancing space. Ola is going to arrive shortly. I know that there's a lot of wind, but I believe that the audio would still be, it'll be very clear, yes, so that you can hear us. Like I said, my clip broke, but I'm just going to, so if you're wondering why it's hanging down, yes, it's because like I said, it broke, and we're just going to do what we need to do what we need to do. So guys, welcome back to another video of TY's Thoughts. My name is Oluwatoyin, Toyin for short, and TY for shorter. And as you can see, it's a different setup. I hope that the wind is not too much because it's quite windy. We're on sort of like a rooftop, but we'll be fine. And we're just going to have this very important money conversation. Like I said, it's a very important conversation. What this season has done to many people is to really show that maybe they were not making the right money choices, or they were just not well informed about money, and nobody expected that a pandemic like this would come that would affect businesses, that would literally shut down lives. Some people have been laid off from work. Some people, it's just taking everyone by storm in quite a crazy way. And I've just been thinking, you know what, we all need to talk about this so that in whatever industry, in whatever business, in whatever stage of life you're at, it's one thing to have big dreams and big goals and big visions, but you and I know that it's one of the most frustrating things in the world when you have big dreams and big goals and big visions and a small pocket. It's gonna be a very frustrating something. But there's a way to do it. At least there's a way to make better choices about understanding how to make money, understanding how to save money, understanding how to invest money, which is why we're going to be talking to Ola. So she's going to be coming up shortly. She's just parking her car right now, actually. So she's going to be walking up the steps, and we'll sit down and just have a beginning conversation with her. We can't talk about everything here, but let's even lay the foundation, start the talk, see where this goes. And I didn't mention, she also has a YouTube channel, but when she arrives, we will be talking about that, okay? So that is Ola arriving. Are we gonna do this in the mask? Say hi, say hi. Hi. How are you? Don't worry, she's a very serious person, even if she's looking and she's dancing like this. So we're just gonna set up there and have a nice conversation. Hi Ola.
Hi darling.
You're looking so different.
Are we supposed to hug?
No, we are not hugging. There is no hug. So guys, Ola is here. Ola! So I was saying that she also has a YouTube channel.
Yes.
So what's your YouTube channel?
Oler Oladele. So it's Oler Oladele.
I was going to say that, I'll write it on the screen. So Ola, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Ola, and I'm a personal finance coach. So I basically try to help people with their personal finances, from saving to the structures you need to put in place to start investing. It's just giving you guidance basically about your personal finances. Most people make money, but they don't realize that at some point they're going to stop working, right? And so just that preparation for that season of your life so that you can actually have the best life. Really, it doesn't have to be a struggle in old age. And it's not that serious. It's not that rigid, right? It's just about the logical, conscious decisions and little changes here and there that you need to make about your finances, basically.
Fantastic. And I thought it was important to have this conversation because money is important. You know, we can have dreams, goal, vision. I want to change the world. But if there is no money,
You're just telling stories.
yeah, just
I'm dreaming.
and you just wake up so frustrated, which is why I actually love what you do. So I know I had said we're going to talk about money making, but hey, money making, guys, is money making. You have to make money. So whether you have a job, you run a business,
You have a job and a business, whatever the combination is, but you have to make money. Like, and you need to find what you can do, right? Find wherever you start from. You see stories on social media about a man selling gala and he's making this amount, he's hiring people under him and all that, you know. So start with what you can in your environment and just keep making progress and set that goal. Because what you can't see, what you don't set as a goal, you most likely will not achieve, basically. So setting that goal and then just keep trying every day, pushing, and you'll get there.
I love the fact that you talked about a guy selling gala. Because for me, you know, whenever we talk about this making money, it's as if you have to do something. And yes, you can do something, but start with what you can do at that time, because there are different kinds of people watching this, and I know that maybe you are within the ages of where you just finished school, maybe you're on your first job, or you don't have a job. And you might be watching this and thinking, hey, how will I invest what I don't even have? But there's something that you can do, because as life is going on, you see, this whole situation that has gone on in the world in the last couple of months has even shown us that even people that had security, they weren't that secure, and it was literally yanked out of them like this. And you're just wondering, what was I doing? So making money, you have to make money. Now let's go to saving money. So I'm a young girl, I'm a young guy, I make averagely, let's even be normal. I make 100,000 naira a month. I have to do this, I have to do that. How do I save?
So what I always start with is the fact that your plan to save is dependent on your personality. Some people are very detailed.
Wait. Ola, don't let me come and be saying, you know, hallelujah. But your plan to save, that's a powerful line.
Yes, it is. It's dependent on your personality. Some people are very detailed and very meticulous, so you can actually write out, this is what I'm going to do, and you will stick with it, and it's very clear in your head. So once your salary comes, you know, once I get to this, I'm not touching it. Once this out of this 100K, 1K is for this, 2K is for this. This is what I'm giving this person. This is this, and some people are like that. Some people, right? They don't even want to think about money, right? So they need help. They need some easy. I just move money here. Once I get my 100K, I know I'm saving 5K. So 5K goes to this account. Whatever is in that, the 95K, I spend it as I will. And there's some people who don't have standard like salaries every month, meaning that you run a business and it's from the business that you eat. So you cannot exactly say.
And this month, maybe you made 250. Next month, you fell to 70. Next month.
So what I recommend for those people is that the percentage of whatever you make, just move it to savings.
Okay.
So if you make 200K and it's 10% you agreed on, 20K goes. If you make 1 million, 100K goes. If you make
decide the percentage. So don't say every month it is this amount.
Yeah.
If you have a moving income, exactly,
if-
undulating.
yes.
There's a word, you know that word.
very
Varying, you know, wow. That's good. That's good.
So those are the ways you can go about it. But the first thing is that you need to understand why you should save. Truth about it is, a lot of people feel like their money is not enough. So how can I save from what I have, right? But have you heard of women that are selling akara, and from that akara they build house, and they are sending their children to school? So they give you 10 naira for biscuit, this for that, and all that. The reason why she can achieve that is because she has a mindset of putting away something. Whatever that something is, it doesn't have to be grand. Don't compare your story to the next person, but it's the culture. Because when your money, so if, for example, you believe that my life starts when I start making 1 million, right? So, but when I earn 100K, I don't really save. It's when I get to 1 million, I'll start saving. You realize that your expenses, your joy, your happiness will rise to the 1 million, and you still will not be able to save.
I love it.
So it's about a culture as against an action. She's being
Ola
dramatic.
dropping gems.
She's being
It's
very
about
dramatic.
the culture as
You're being
against
very,
an
very
action.
dramatic. You're very, very dramatic.
Did you hear that? It's about a culture. Okay.
an action.
Let me reduce my drama.
So yeah, it's about a culture. It's about the way you see things should be. And the question really, like you said, some people have lost their jobs and they didn't, in January, they thought they had it figured out. In January, they were planning the
had a
vacation
plan.
in July, right? They probably even bought the ticket for the vacation, you know? So they had everything figured out. And then all of a sudden, I don't have a job. My child's school is still asking for school fees, even though I'm the one teaching the child, you know? And the landlord too needs money, so he still has to ask for his rent, even though he's being careful about asking, but you know he too, he needs the money. So what are we saying? That bills will still keep coming, but the emergencies are just what they are, emergencies. If you could plan for them, there won't be an emergency, right? So when they come up, you need to be positioned for them.
That's actually to make a point as well, that if you are earning a certain way, then maintain your spending and lifestyle. Because in this world that we are all trying to show.
Exactly. And then another thing, what I do is that I try to live like my previous or past two earnings. So if, for example,
So that's what you do personally.
that's what I try to do. I do that. So for example, when you're entry level, you go to second level at work and third level. So my expenses are like
You're still like your almost
entry level, because if you don't do that intentionally, right, you would find that your pay has increased, but you are still broke.
I love it.
So, and I find that a lot. I have a lot of friends who I just ask them, okay, when we started off, you were doing your business, you were running your shop, and you were making 50K a month. Now you are charging 500K, but you're still broke. So what really is the question? Is it about making money, or is it about saving it?
And they say I'm dramatic. Is it about making money or is it about saving it? People, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So that's the conversation around saving, and it's actually important. The first thing to just kill that mindset of it's because I don't earn enough. When I was in Unilag, my mom used to give me 1K per week. Out of that 1K, I used to save 17 naira. That was my after everything, because I used to have food stuff. So that 1K was just be all right, like whatever lao, and I mean that's like how many years ago,
Yeah.
right? But then 1K you save 17 naira.
I mean, really.
Really,
You
but
have 930.
900
Still a lot. Wow.
in that time, right? But the 17 naira, after a while, I realized that, okay, I had 700 naira. At that point, there's some things you could actually buy with 700 naira. And then sometimes I had more, as in if I didn't end up spending,
Exactly.
I will just put it in that wallet or purse that I used to throw the money into, because of course it wasn't really tangible even at that time, but it was enough to, you could live on it actually, because food was $100. You can buy 17 naira food at that time, you know, in school. So I'm just giving you context of the fact that it's not just about how much you earn. So yes, if you are earning $1 million, you might be able to save 100K. And if you're earning 100K, you certainly cannot save 100K, right? But what in that your space is that diligence that is actually the major thing. It's and it needs to be a culture. It needs to be a culture, so that because you find people, or think of actors and actresses as stars abroad. After 1 year they've gone broke. And you're wondering, hello, aren't you the one that got this deal, got this endorsement, got this? So it just tells you that beyond that making of the money, there are some things you need to do. There's some intentional decisions that you need to do, you need to make, and you have to look at your own story and define it.
Because it's very individual to each and every person. Okay, so we've talked savings. Let's talk investing, because that's another area. So people say, okay, fine, I get you, I can save. However, this money can be multiplied.
Yes.
And I think that's a very important conversation, especially for a younger generation. people that might be in the financial world might understand it, but every other normal Tom, Dick, and Harry, to them, it just always seems like bonds, stocks, fixed. It's like, what's all this grammar? So let's talk about investing.
So investing is, it's just investing as this. Your salary is what you earn, right? You just think your salary as the fruit. You eat the fruit and there's the seed. The seed is your savings. If you plant that seed, it can become a tree with other fruits. That is like the process flow, if you can get that. Right, so you saved, you have money. Now you have to actually, or the ideal thing is for you to invest it, right? Now the truth about it is, a lot of horror stories come with investing. People always hear the bad out of investing, but they don't sit down and look across board and realize that people are actually benefiting from this thing. So a lot of people are actually more comfortable with just leaving their money in the bank, right? Now, I did a recording on, or a video on why you should not leave your money in the bank.
It's on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube, okay. Right? So you guys could check it out.
The link in the
description. And basic thing is this. Look back. I just said that my mom could give me 1K a week 10, 12 years ago. That cannot happen now, right? Because prices have gone up. So if you leave your money and say, I'm saving, and you are not sowing it as a seed for it to become a tree, the truth about it is that money you think you have, in 10 years' time, it will...
One talent will remain the one talent. It might even be lesser than the value of what it was in 2020.
Not might, it will be. So think about devaluation. Think about, I remember when I started working in like 2007, 2008, exchange was 118, right? If you had £1,000, £1,000 was 250K, right? How much is £1,000 now? That's double. So if you are earning in Naira without doing anything and you just saved, you've lost half of your money. So if you were going to buy something or pay for a course for £1,000, you would have to produce twice the amount you would have had to produce 10 years ago, right? So even that consciousness alone tells you that, see, you need to do something. But I find that a lot of people don't get educated.
That's it.
And so they just hear everybody's doing something, they follow, they get burnt. They leave their brains.
Yep.
So you find very intelligent people doing amazing things in their careers and all that, very intelligent people. But when they make those economic decisions, you're like, really? How could you? I said, what were you thinking? Like, what is the logic? Well, like, I heard people were making money off it, so I just decided to. And then the amazing thing also is that they now come and then they put a lot of money that would actually pay them in such risky investments. And then what now happens is that when people now hear that one person's story, it just trends. And everybody just says, yes, that's why we shouldn't invest. Let's just see the money in the bank. Let's just, as long as it's in the bank, it's in a safe bank. Their interest is even low. So I'm even okay. Like, but as long as the money I worked for is there. And yes, it's good that it's there, but I mean, you might be doing yourself, in fact, you are actually doing yourself a disservice by doing that, by just leaving your money there idle. So the thing is to get educated, and that's what really I try to do, or I am trying, or I'm achieving with my channel, to explain finance and economics in simple English. Right, so, because a lot of these things are logical. I'm actually currently doing a series on investing and the questions you need to ask. Somebody now comes to you and tells you that they want to sell clothes and they want to start a clothes store. They want to open a clothes store in this place where in this season where everybody is working from home. The question is, what is the game plan there? But if you say that you want to sell children's clothes, because I know for a fact that children will always outgrow their clothes. So those are the kind of reasonings, and they are logical. Because when you are investing in a company, and the company must be selling to someone. Yeah. So the question is, would you buy the thing that this company is selling? And how many people would buy it? And how many people are selling that same thing? Simple decision, simple logic, right? And unfortunately also, I find that a lot of these asset managers and co, they just go technical and they talk above people's heads. And so you are sending me a research report, and I'm supposed to use the research report to make a decision. But this thing you are saying, you are talking to yourself.
I don't understand all the things.
You just said, all the ROE, all those things. I really don't understand. So I find that that's a huge challenge. And then people know they should invest. So when they now want to invest, when you just close your eyes and jump into something. right? So I should invest, I should invest. I've been scared. Then someone just brings something to me. Okay, let me just close my eyes and do it. And that's what you find people do. So they close their eyes and then there's no logic, right? And they just try and hope. And there's no science, there's no engagement. And it goes bad and they say, there's no point in this whole investing thing. They are all scammers. It's all a scam, it's not true and all that. And then, don't you remember the stock market that crashed that time? Don't you know? So there's no point, just let's see the money. So it's actually very important, especially when you're young, right?
Especially when you're young. That's the best time to make the right financial decisions. I'll just set you on a path.
On a path. Think of the people that invested. There's a book, the guy that started Nike.
Okay.
His book, Shoe Dog, he tells his story. Now, if you think they were all young.
All these people today we are looking at were young.
Yes, and then how did they end up blowing? They got listed and they just became billionaires overnight. So for me, it's very, very logical. It's not a sentimental, oh, I believe, I think. Do you get? If you even think of the fact that, okay, you already have a fruit, the seed, how do you want...
I love that example.
How do you want it to blow up?
I love that example.
And we all say multiply. That is it. So it's more like educating yourself, opening your mind up. Following the right channels.
Following the right channels.
To explain these things to you, right?
Yeah.
And asking questions. And keep asking till you understand. Right? And a lot of these businesses, they are right beside you. Where was TFC a few years ago? It was one place. It grew. I can tell you, I can bet for a fact that some people that invested there, that you don't know their names. Right? So there's some of those, and then there are always those businesses every season. And then what people also can do is if you find any of those small businesses that you want to invest in, put your skill into it because your money is there.
Completely.
So for me, I'm a finance person. I'm a strategy person. If I'm putting money in your business, I would ask you what your strategy is. I will call my friends that might help you and say, this person, this, that. How can we? And that's how boards are formed.
Yeah.
And if you look
Exactly.
yes, that's how boards are formed. And then one day you look at board on this board chairman of this board. How do you think they got there?
And they were not the way they are now.
No. How do you think they got there? Because they're friends, and you now find out they're all friends.
And then I say, all this world.
All these people, they've taken everything.
It's not like that. They were not.
Yes, and that's actually how they got there.
Yeah.
So you find that a lot of times you look at one big boy and you realize that he has shareholdings in a lot of companies. And look at those companies, they didn't necessarily all start off big. They all have a story of when nobody believed in them, when they were just in one room, in one person's house. You know, they always have all those stories.
I mean, I know you've seen that image of Google, Apple, Microsoft, and the garages. Like, see where they all started from. I've absolutely loved this conversation. And if there are two things I'm going to take away from this, is discipline and education.
Yeah, very true.
Discipline of saving, education of investing. And if you are a young person, 25 to 40, if you've not been thinking like this before, you need to start thinking like this consciously. See, the world has changed and is changing. And like we said, money is key. Yes. Do you have any final words on this before we close?
There are two things you can't outsource, your health and your finances. So you have to engage.
I love it. You can't outsource your health. I've never actually thought about that. You actually truly can't outsource your finances. I mean, you can say you can get an investment broker or this or that, but the thinking is still yours. The decisions, because if you lose money, it's not them that lost it.
It's not.
It's you that lost, and they'll say bye-bye, sorry,
They
thank you,
apologize.
dicey.
Yes, English.
Two things you can't outsource, your health and your finances. Wow. Ola, thank you. Ola's channel, Oler Oladele, Oler Oladele, right on the screen. Go there, subscribe, follow, listen, learn, educate yourself, guys. Ask questions. It's very key. We might do this video again. If you have any questions that you like to you want us to answer, or you want her to answer on her page, just put it right here in the comment section. I promise you we'll read it. Two of us might do another video again, or she'll just do it alone. But we need to continuously have, see, this 2020 we gotta blow, or at least we gotta start making blowing decisions for the future that you and I desire, and not just for ourselves, but even if we are living to change the world for other people. Exactly. It's not by mouth. And after prayer comes wisdom for action. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this today. Subscribe to my channel and see you on the next TY's Thoughts. Bye.